Hi YouTubers, just a quick review of the Cobra microtalk from Maplin. I just better get one to show you what I'm talking about. Hold on, preparation for you. Right, here goes. They're the rigs that we're talking about. Let me just get my light over to it. A small little thing. Cobra microtalks. What can I tell you? At the moment in Maplin they're $32.99, I think, something like that. And I don't know why, I just looked on the Maplin site, looked at their PMR gear. And I think in the reviews, they've only got like 3 stars, and I thought, well, I'll be honest, that's enough to put someone off of buying them, you know, because most people want 5 stars. So here's my review on them. Now I've had these a good year and a half, maybe longer. And when I bought them they were $29.99. First off, I'll tell you the functions. There's very little on them, to be honest. When you first turn them on, you just got on the display what channel we're on. Okay, well first off you want to turn the volume up, like I always do, and you use the up arrow. Just keep pressing it 3-4 times till this happens. Once you get that so maximum volume, once that happens, press a little button on the side that transmits it, and your volume will then be up. Turn the other little rig on. Get the right button, it'll be alright. Okay, I'll go do the same with that one. Okay. Volume wise, with them up forward, so it's adequate. They're all, volume wise it's okay. They've got a cool button, and you've only got one cool tone. I'll just show you that now. And you would use that to attract the other user's attention, because not necessarily only going to be 2 of you on your little radio network. There could be 3, 4, 5, 6, however many you want. If you want other people's attention, just press call and you hear that. If that other person's in somewhere where you don't really want too much noise, I don't know, it could be in a classroom or anywhere, just transmit once. You know, that's another way of doing it. First off, I'll talk about things I like about them. I mean, I've had loads of different radios, as most of my subscribers already know. But me and the other half is on a bit of a tight budget, and we took a chance on these. And to be honest, been pretty happy with them. They've lasted longer than some more expensive rigs that we had that's since long in the bin. So features, you've got the call feature. That's about it really. 8 channels. They're a no nonsense little rig, you know, just nice and basic. The claimed range is 5 kilometres, and I would say, yeah, that's about right. I've actually had a lot further on these 2 radios. But for those of you that don't know, these are terrain dependent. Out in the open, on flat ground, I don't know how far you'd get. Probably 5 kilometres, let's say. Now if one of you then goes to the top of a great big hill, you may well get 7, 8, 9 or 10 kilometres. But if you're both walking around the town centre, in and out of shops, your range could be down to 1 kilometre or 2. So just bear that in mind. And I always say this in all my reviews of all these little type of walkie talkie. If there's 2 of you and you're struggling a bit, if you're in a house go upstairs, because it makes a hell of a difference. By going upstairs, and although you won't see the radio's line of sight, but just by going up, your signal will be able to travel over a lot of stuff, you know, low stuff like low bushes, trees, garden sheds, that sort of stuff. So, back to the actual radio itself. Stuff I like about them, they're nice and cheap. They've been reliable, you know. They do exactly what they're supposed to do. They fit in your pocket nice because they're so tiny. I ain't got big hands anyway, I don't know whether you can see that, but you know, they're a tidy little rig. Not the best on the market, but in this price range, yeah, I'd say, yeah, you know, job's a good one. Now what else is there to like about them? I don't know. They're alright. You know, I'll give them 4 or 5 stars for the money, to be fair. Stuff I don't like about them, the bottom of the rig is rounded, so you can't stand them up. Excuse me. God dear, I'm in a bit of a state today, but that's another story. You can't stand them up. If you stand them up below, you can't see this, they just fall straight over. The belt clip is a little bit on the small side, you know, like, does do the job. The main thing I don't like about them is you can't use them while they're charging. Some rigs, they sit in a little dock and you can charge them and listen on them at the same time. Say for example, I don't know, your other half's up the garden shed, one of the rigs is, you know, going flat, you can still have your rig on charge, and if one of you calls the other, you can, you know, make good use. On these you can't do that. Because in like the headphone socket, that's where your charging unit goes in, a little plug. I don't know if you can see that, I'll offer it up. But trust me, it's on the top. Bar that, what else do I like about them? My own personal preference, I normally go for rigs with 4 batteries, because these only take 3. There you go. And basically, normally when you've got 4 batteries, the radio will hold full power for longer. That said, to be fair, these don't do too bad. Not too bad at all. I don't know if there's any accessories you can buy for these. There's no Vox on them for one, and there's no scan, no privacy codes, but for basic operation they're fine. For example, if you was going on holiday and you wanted one rig and one car, one in the other, you know, away you go. They work pretty well. If you're at a caravan park and you want to keep in touch with your kids, rather than having to have the bother of them having an expensive mobile phone which may well get lost, broken or whatever, this type of little radio is ideal. This is actually the second review I've done today, and I'm just trying to think over what I did in the first one. The first one didn't come out very well. I've gone through what I like, which is the price, functionality. That's my dog's. You've got an itch, mate. Very, very basic, but they work. You know, I can't knock these at all. And I suppose what prompted me to do the review was looking on Maplin, and they got quite a poor review, you know, on the how many stars they got. That's what I wanted to touch on. A lot of people, they'll buy these with an unrealistic task for them, and when they don't do what they think they're going to do, they give them a bad review. And I would say, not all the time, but sometimes it's their own inexperience. They think, right, 5 kilometres, I'm here, Joe Bloggs is over there, these should keep us in contact. Ain't always the case. If you're in buildings or you've got tall buildings in front of you, sometimes, you know, I wouldn't say they let you down, but they won't work. You won't be able to talk to each other. They're not a mobile phone, they're a little walkie-talkie radio. In the right conditions, you know, I'd say you'd probably easily get 10 kilometres, to be honest. And when I say right conditions, I mean if one of you is on top of a hill. I will put a link at the top of the video, excuse me, to a review of these on the air, so you can actually hear what they're like. And the distance was about 3 miles away, and I was on top of a hill. Though to be fair, it wasn't like I'm up here and the receive radio was down here. It's sort of a bit of an odd angle, so the signal had to go look like quite an angle across the hill, and my place, there wasn't a clear line of sight. But you'll hear me compared these against the Binatone Action 950, the Intec 5050, and I think there might have been one other one, I can't remember what that was, but these hold their own, they're alright. If you're fretting about spending 32 quid, don't worry, just go out and get them, you know, providing you don't ask too much of them. There is something that you can do, and you can open the squelch on them. And what you have to do, you have to hold the up and down buttons together, but there's a long delay between pressing the buttons and the squelch opening. Right, I don't know whether, right, I think I'm in shot. I'm pressing the buttons now, waiting for it. There we go. But each time you transmit, when you let go of the push to talk button, you've got to go through all that all again. That's a bit of a pain. But you'd only normally open that squelch if you was at maximum range and the other person you was talking to has completely disappeared. Because once the signal gets down to a certain level, you disappear under what you call the squelch, which is the bit that mutes all that background noise. But you can open the squelch, let the noise through, and there's a good possibility the station you're trying to hear in person will be there. But just bear in mind, it doesn't, once you've opened the squelch, you have to reopen it every time. Well, I think I'll wrap that up really. They get a thumbs up from me, and like I say, I've had these a long while. I've compared them against loads of other different rigs. I'd like to think I'm quite an experienced radio user, both PMR, which these are, CB radio and amateur radio. I've been messing about with radio since 1981. Now there may well be a better equivalent in another make of a similar price, though to be fair, I don't know if there is. I'm just reviewing these and comparing them against stuff that costs, you know, double the price, and to me they're good enough. So I'll wrap this up. As in actual fact, I've got stuff to do. If you like this sort of video on PMR kit, or if you've got questions about PMR kit, whether it be range, you know, what all the functions do, hit subscribe. There's a fair chance the stuff that you might want to see is already on my channel. If it's not, leave a message in the comments box and I'll see what I can do. If it's about radio I've not had, maybe I can look around the forums for you and give like an overview of what I think. So thanks for watching. Be lucky, be safe. See you in the next video. Cheers people.